So the Striffler clan has a new project. We're building a monster truck, 4-wheel drive. Let's see what's inside. What we got here? We got a box we can't open.
It's hard. You pull up.
It's not that hard. Ooh, boy. Oh, look at that big instruction booklet. Wow, look how big those tires are. Joe, put that tire next to your head. See how big it is. Holy crow. Got a body here. We got a paint.
Do we have to paint it?
Yeah, paint and stickers. Look at the rims. Nice. Oh, look at the box of bags of parts. Oh my goodness. Where do we...
Wow. Oh, it's
Wow.
probably the heaviest part of it.
Look at all these bags of parts.
There's some mufflers. Cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that the
Springs.
engine? This is a nitro kit. It's a real gas engine with 2.9 horsepower. Awesome. We'll have to set this up in on our new table that we set aside for building this project. Oh, that's heavy. The engine's in there. Cool.
Look good. Like,
So we've got our table set up and assembly has begun. We've got some steering knuckles, differentials
I need some of this, Dad. Right?
assembled.
8614.
We're getting there.
what do we do now?
Day
I
one.
need one of these, I think.
All right, still day one. We got our lower control arms and our turnbuckles all put together. We got our differentials. We're getting quite a ways on day one. And we'll be back. Here we are after finishing 2.5 hours of assembly on day one. We've got some front and rear differentials and suspension all assembled. We're getting ready to put the transmission in, and we're stopping on number D because we don't want to open a new bag of parts. So tomorrow,
Number D?
did I say number?
Yeah.
Letter D. So tomorrow we'll start again. All right. Here we are on day 2. We got the transmission assembly done, the slipper clutch, the dual disc brakes, and the engine mount. We're just about ready to put both of these pieces, the side frame rails, together with the transmission, and then we'll be putting the suspension on. So here it is. The transmission is on the side frame rails. Engine mounts there. And the next thing is not suspension on this. It's adding the steering and the servos for the steering. So that's what we're going to get to next. So we've got the frame started to get together. We got the throttle servo in. And we got the steering linkage put together and attached to the servo box. Yeah, and we're making progress. Day 2 done. On to day 3. Okay, here we are, day 3. We have steering servo and linkage in, and then on the other side of this box we've put all the receiver battery in, and the receiver for the radio, and the throttle servo, and the on-off switch. Wired it all together. We have our charging port, and we're ready to install this on the body, and that's going to be tomorrow. Alright, here we are on day 4. We didn't have much time because it's a skiing night, so we put all the shocks together. They're oil filled, ready to roll. They're nice and squishy. Got 6 inches of travel on the suspension with them big boys. And they're about 7 inches long. Nice shocks. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so we've attached our servo box onto the front suspension so we can hook up the steering. And we're on to step G. Okay, so we have attached the front suspension and the servo box to the frame rails. And we're ready to attach the rear suspension to the frame rails. And here we go. So here we go. We have the front and the rear differentials and the radio box all hooked up to the frame. And we're moving on. Look at the suspension. Gotta put those shocks on there. And on to step I. Okay, so here's the shock. We actually had a little problem with these shocks. You can see leaking oil right out the side of the shock body. Poor casting. They were made wrong. They called HPI up. Proof of purchase and part numbers. They sent me everything I needed to replace and totally rebuild these shocks. They were very good about it. No problems whatsoever. But we decided we didn't want to use the plastic ones anymore, so we bucked up for these nice heavy-duty aluminum shocks. Ooh, with the booties in there. So we're going to put these babies on, and we'll show you what the car looks like with shocks. So here we go. Shocks are on. Working nice, looking good. We're gonna be back tomorrow with some more improvements. The engine's coming up. Goes right there. So we've got our linkages on the rear here to make this fixed. And we got the linkages on the front. So we're steering. And we're all set. Next step is engine installation. Okay, this step we have the centrifugal clutch dogs. We're going to build the clutch, and there's the motor mount. I'm going to put the clutch and the motor mount on the engine and get the engine ready to put in the car. Okay, here's our assembled engine. The muffler and the air cleaner and the centrifugal clutch all assembled, ready to put in the car. So here we are. One installed engine. We got the gear meshing with the other perfectly. We used a piece of paper to give us the perfect air gap between the gears. Now we're ready to hook up our throttle linkages and our brakes, and we'll be back. Here we are. We have our throttle and brake linkage all set up. Yep, brake, gas, brake. And the steering, that's always been working. Next is the roll cage and the tires. So here we are. We have a completed Savage XSS car that my 9 and 11, almost 10 and 12-year-old kids have put together with little help from me, but only on the tough stuff. There we go. We just got to paint the body now. It's all done. Okay, so my kids, Gina and Joe, almost 10 and 12 years old, not quite, built the body of this monster truck in 12 and a half hours. Now I'm going through and I've pinstriped with pinstripe all the parts that I don't want the main color blue. It's going to be blue with white. So now I just have to fill in the stripes and around the edges where I want it to be white. And we'll be back. Okay, here you go. I've got all the parts that I want to be white taped off. And we are ready to paint the main body blue. Then we'll remove the tape, and paint the white. Okay, as you can see, I have painted the inside blue. Now I just need to remove my masking and my pinstriping to get ready to paint the silver. So as you can see, I've peeled off all of the pinstriping and tape, ready to paint the silver. Okay, so here's the body after I put the second coat, the silver paint on it. So we got our nice stripes down the center, silver windows, silver stripes. It's nice and dull, but you peel off this plastic. Look at how nice and shiny that body is. That's why you paint the inside, so it always looks nice. Now we're going to stick some stickers on it, and we'll show you what it looks like with stickers. Okay, so we got some stickers on it. Front, the back windows, decals, tail lights, the doors. Looks pretty mean. It's an awesome looking truck. Alright, and here is the body on the car. Pretty nasty looking. You just gotta break the motor in and drive it around the yard. It's gonna be awesome. Cool truck. Okay, here we are in the backyard. It's been a long time since the last clip because we built it in the winter and had to wait till it got warm enough to break in the motor, which is kind of a long process. First you have to run an entire tank through at idle, and then run another tank through just barely giving it gas up to quarter, half throttle. Then the third tank you can go up to 3/4 throttle. Fourth tank you can pretty much start leaning it out. The factory adjustments are very rich to break the engine in properly. I've got a little over a quart of nitromethane through it at this point, and I broke it in very slowly. I'm still not done fine-tuning it. There's still got a little bit lean adjustments to make on the low speed, high speed, but this is basically what you can expect. I still have to get a temperature gun to tune it properly so it's not overheating and it's not too rich. I'm going to start it up and give you an idea of what you can expect. And remember, this is not perfectly tuned. I still have to tune it. So, start her up. As you can see, it's way too powerful for its own good. 2.9 horsepower. Brakes work very well. You can do stoppies. You can actually do a wheelie so hard that it'll flip over backwards and land on its wheels. But